this before. Or HTX, but HTX has got weird candles, so it's basically MEX and Gate. Yeah, MEX is fine now. MEX has got a lot of volume, huh? Nearly 1 million. Oh, look at that. That's nice. So when was that? That was yesterday. So we had a really nice touch of that value area high, didn't we? So that's, see, when you see things like that, that gives you a little bit more confidence about these levels and about your analysis. So let me just mark that out because I should have done it before. And it's good to mark out the levels because when you then if there's a change, it's a lot easier to see. You can see that there's a change as you update it. So that's the overall value area. And then there's a bit of a high volume node there where this value area high is. So where did I pull that from? I don't know why I pulled it from there. I can't remember. But actually, let me do something else. Go to a slightly higher time frame. Just get rid of that. Let me get rid of these. And then we just hide the Elliott waves. Why is that not hidden? It's down here. Just get rid of these fixed ranges. I just want to kind of tidy this up a bit because I'm guessing you're going to come back and I'm going to have to look at it again. So, all right, this is the chart, isn't it? What's that line again? See, it's horrible when you don't mark things out because you forget. You look at so many charts and you just forget what everything is. Oh, that was the all-time low. I've got. Let's put the high in while we're at it. Well, it sucks. Sometimes my copy and paste doesn't work. 4417. And then we did the fib, didn't we? No, we didn't. So let me just delete these. Must be that one. No, that's not right either. That was from top to bottom. Okay, it's good to have that one. But actually the one that I wanted was this one. It's come back, found support on the 50%, lost it, reclaimed it, back up to the 382. That's your flip. Yeah, it's looking really, really, really bullish at the moment, to be honest with you. But let's just do some things here. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let me just break out these volumes based on these fibs now. I'm just trying to see where the big SR flip is. So that see that 236 was a nice SR flip. See that here? That 236 is an SR flip. This 382 is an SR flip too. It's kind of, it's an area, isn't it? But you can see it. There's a little bit of an SR flip going on. It's a little bit of an area, but it's kind of going on here. Kind of corresponds. And then you have something very similar with so these big fibs are controlling the way the price moves. And so it's good because when you do volume now, you can just do it from area from range to range. Let's have a look. Can zoom in a bit. Just have a look at all of these. It's nice. I like that. Okay, I don't really care about that stuff. And then let's do this big one. Okay. Keep those. Go back to the 4 hour. Let's have another look. All right, so what you can see here is that this previous range is supporting the price. Yeah, so this is what happened. The price went through, came right back down to the bottom of this range. This range actually had impact. You see, it came all the way down to here. That's why it was there. Got another impulse, made a higher high, and now we've come back to find support on. So this range is actually playing a role. You can see it. It's playing a role in the price. This little range here. But that being said, we're underneath of 2 value area highs. We've got this local range value area high, and we've got a slightly wider range all the way from when we came above this 0.5. That's where I've pulled it from. That's from November the 23rd. I mean, everything's a range, yeah, until we go into price discovery. And even price discovery, the price is trying to create a range. It's trying to make ranges, yeah. Everything is a range. That's how you have to see it. So from the minute we came above here, we were in one big range. This whole thing's one big range. And the price just works its way from level to level, either down or up. And it fills each range with volume. And over time, if it's bullish, the demand just keeps on coming higher and higher, and the price struggles to get down. So that's basically what's happening here. I can see a really strong level here because you've got this high volume node, you've got the 382, Will we go down again for one more test? I have no idea, but really that would be a good place to buy, just because of the volume, because of this high volume, and it will look bearish. But it potentially isn't, because you could be completing an ABCD pattern here. That's the first thing that I'll be looking for. Yeah, if this pattern plays out, it would have to be quite symmetrical, and timing would be basically next weekend. And this doesn't really matter. It could do that and then come down, but the idea is that you're completing a pivot. You're putting a nice pivot here for a higher low, to complete some kind of corrective pattern like that. Exactly what you were suggesting, like a running flat. Okay, but if it's really bullish, you will never get this, because right now what you can see is we're holding support levels, we're into resistance, and if it's bullish, people just keep on, they prevent the price going down. You get into a situation like this, and then it will still get to the same time, but then it will just explode up, because it's almost like it's trying to get down to there to complete this harmonic. But if it's bullish, then it's just too much demand, and it won't look the way it needs to look. Okay, but in terms of trading, that would be perfect, wouldn't it, if we saw that? A trader would love that, and you would take that trade because it's coming to the 382, and you've got a really nice high volume node here, and it would basically fake. It would be a little bit of a fake out of the price coming underneath the value. You'd be expecting something like that, and then you'd expect some kind of impulse on time. But I mean, if you're accumulating, look, this is a really nice accumulation range. The price kind of lost the point of control, and now it's back above. So you can see that people are buying. They're buying. Doesn't mean it's not going to go down, because it could quite easily just keep on doing what it's doing. Do you know what I mean? It could totally do that. That's what I think. I really have no idea if that helps at all, but you might be right about the waves. But I mean, it definitely, you can see that there's strength, so it does kind of, I don't feel like accumulating here would be bad, and spot. But then this is the minute we go down underneath there, that's a lower low, and after a lower low, after in bullish market structure, if you do put in a lower low, the next thing you need to see is a V-shaped recovery to take out that high, because otherwise you get you end up with a head and shoulders pattern and a breakdown. Yeah, so that's bearish. That's a lower low followed by a lower high, followed by taking out the low, and it just looks like a head and shoulders pattern with a market structure change. Yeah, so if we do get a lower low, and usually that will happen because of some scare in the market, or some kind of bearish sentiment suddenly appears across the market, not across this token, then you'll get a lower low, but actually it was just a shakeout, and that's when the whales just buy this up and they just take it to the high, and then it goes right back to bullish. That low low becomes a higher low, and then you're continuing with a higher high. You just end up with a slightly wider range, but you're still bullish. So it's just some things to bear in mind. But I think you're absolutely right. This could be the last leg of a corrective pattern, which might, I mean, look, it could fall short the correction, if we're still going down. But in terms of buying, these high volume nodes are really, this one here is really nice. This high volume node on this 382. And effectively what you want to see is some bearishness for a few days, where this just keeps on grinding down. That's what you want to see. So you want to see it go up, you want to see it go down, you want to see it go up, go down. It starts to get bearish. There, buyback, and once you're back into the range. So in this circumstance, like a trader, what they'd actually be looking for is a fake out, and the fake out would be to lose this local value area low roughly on time, and to get right back in there. And when you see that, when you see a pivot here on time to complete a corrective pattern, the sign of strength and the reaction and the sign of strength, this is a reaction, getting back into the value area high is a sign of, above the value high is a sign of strength. You see that, then you literally, as a trader, you would enter and you have an invalidation. And also you're looking for an impulsive move. You're looking for, so you have an invalidation, you're looking for an impulsive move to follow. But you only enter after that hits its target. On spot, just buy. It's not really a big deal. It's not really, I think on spot it's not really difficult. You just keep on the dollar cost averaging, buying red candles, whatever strategy you use, buying based on time. And now if I was initially correct and that was your wave 5 and we were looking for an ABC zigzag, well, we don't know if it's a zigzag or not. So a zigzag would be like this, coming to fill the gap all the way down to there. But I mean, who knows? This could actually just be flat, you know. That could still be the wave 5, and you could just see a prolonged correction, flat correction here, holding this higher kind of this little range here. But actually, I'm just thinking it probably not. I think probably we're going up. I can't imagine us staying here for long, because we didn't really stay here for long as we came down. And so usually what happens is the way the price moves, it kind of follows the previous price action, you know, it kind of follows. So you kind of, it took so long, thus long to get out of here, to lose this level. Yeah. What was it? It's about 60 days. I don't think you're going to be here more than 60 days. That would take us mid-November at the very latest. But because we're impulsing, it could be much shorter, much sooner, you know. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a nice impulse to get us up. And then if you're trading this, you can totally cover yourself at each level. You can, and the volume areas, the previous volume areas are really useful. If you're trading this, skimming, you can skim profit at these levels with a view to putting it back down, back in. And so you're never going to get a straight move, are you? It's always going to be waves. And it's usually on these previous historic levels to get waves. So I think you might be right. I'm tempted to buy some MEX. I mean, I like the bullish structures, market structures bullish. I like that. Can't complain. I mean, it's nothing. There's nothing really to it, is it? It's just like pretty straightforward. And what people don't want to see is we don't want to see us lose. I mean, as far as Elliott Waves is concerned, this is your 0 point, so you can't lose that. If we do now suddenly go down and suddenly go into a kind of some kind of bearishness, shit happens. Yeah, anything can happen in crypto. We definitely don't want to lose this pivot here, because that's the impulsive. That's the impulse, isn't it? That's the first wave. It's looking right. Good afternoon, Allcoin joining. Nice to see you. Top legend, blue meme on Sui. 1000%. You're a spammer. Go, get lost. Oh, you want me to post it? Yeah, I can post it. I don't know if it's a great analysis, to be honest with you. It's pretty basic. I've done nothing spectacular. I like to post spectacular videos. It's just a normal video. Let me just try and see if I can discover something amazing. I don't know. Let me have a look. Let me just mess about a bit. Maybe I can come up with something special, extra special. I don't think so, but at the very least, let me just put in all the levels here as well. So at least anyone who's using this can have a reference. Let me put the monthly levels in so people can see where all the levels are. You've got these are support resistance levels, monthly time frame. So you've got a resistance level there, you've got a support level there. Let me go in the weekly time frame. Let me do all of this boring stuff. But this boring stuff is actually how traders make money. I'm not trading at the moment. I will get back into trading. I took a long time out, a long break because of what happened to me with the hack, and I will get back into it. So at the moment, it's just getting, just becoming stronger, not losing your art, not losing your skill, just continuously analyzing, and just keep on keeping your skills honed and sharp. That's all it really is. There was a weekly level there. It went through, didn't come back to test. There's a few weekly levels there, so on the way up there's a few kind of levels that it has to contend with. You can see that this one, I feel like we've come up with back. This is a back test. This is a little bit of a back test. Next week might back test too. We might have another back test on this level. It's possible. So, but I'm not going to leave. I'm going to get rid of it because it's already been cleared of liquidity. So these are your kind of liquid. This is where the liquidity is. And then let's have a look at the daily time frame. Let's just chuck it all in there just in case people are interested to see where all the different levels are. Daily. I don't really like on altcoins. I don't know if I like to put dailies too much because altcoins sometimes move through dailies like there's no tomorrow. But sometimes they're useful because you can see confluence. If you're looking to cover, or you're looking to take profit, you're looking to trade. That's taken. This one up there as well. No, that's taken. Let's just put these all into a folder. And then what I like to do, if you're looking to trade, what I like to do is just get the volume up, get the higher time frame levels up, get your fib retracement up, and then also get your other fib up. You get all of them up, and then what you can see, without really going into too much depth, what you can see are lines and black spaces. And usually what happens is where there's black spaces, the price moves quite quickly, and where there's lines, the price has to kind of get through. Yeah, because you have to get through liquidity. There is an observation I'm going to make right now. Yeah, there's a volume. The volume has been descending, so I'm not fond of this. Yeah, increasing prices, decreasing volume. I'm not crazy about that. And to go up, you're going to need volume. The reason why you're going to need volume is because you do have trapped liquidity. You have people who have bought, when I showed you the volume pools, you've got people who bought at 18 cents and now they're 40% underwater. And at the lows, they were like crazy underwater. And so these people, if they were buying the pump and they and they still held, and they've been underwater, what their first thing in their mentality is to break even. It's just to get out and break even because their trade went wrong. Yeah, they were buying thinking this is going to go up, and so the first opportunity they do is they want to exit. Once we clear this range, so you see, once you can clear all the way up to here, you've got a few black spaces, and so it should really kind of fly, and it should fly up there at the top. There's not much volume at the top, and so there's at least resistance at the top. So let me just kind of have a look at this CC log. That's the golden pocket. Yeah, I mean, you've got resistance here, this weekly level, daily level. You've got a 236. You have to flip that into support. That will be a sign of strength. If you see the price get back into this previous volume area, that's a really strong move, yeah, because it's going to require volume to get through this area. If you see the price go up there, that's a sign of strength. And actually, you could buy that. You could just go buy. You could, like you would. You just buy. People would start buying this crazy if this suddenly came up into that range. Yeah, that's a sign of strength. And right now you're in a bit of a kind of indecisive moment, or a decisive moment. Why? Because it looks like it's trying to consolidate underneath resistance. See, this is resistance. We're underneath resistance. We have a bit of untapped liquidity here. We've got a couple of daily levels, but then if you clear that, you're straight into this bigger resistance, this weekly resistance, and this 236 close to this daily level. With a little bit of volume, you're into this next range, and then that's a sign of strength. I think, honestly, I don't think the price is gonna. I wouldn't think the price would reject from here. And then if you did reject, because you could always reject from the golden pocket. It's always possible to go up, reject on the golden pocket. You'd see it very easily because you're losing this key level. That level has to hold the support. If you go up, reject from the golden pocket, come back down and lose that key level, is that 236 joined with the weekly, then there's something wrong, yeah, with this whole move. It's still probably corrective, I would say. Then you'd be thinking then honestly, if that was to happen, so I'm just giving a bearish scenario, then I would just say maybe this whole thing is an A, this is a B, and actually the C is more like that, heading towards the golden pocket. Yeah, and that would be this is the test, because if we're now starting to wave up, and this is wave 3, then you can't. Once you're into that higher range, which is here, then you don't really want to lose it. If you lose it, that's not correct. That makes no sense. Or if you just bounce off it and you can't get into it, and then actually you're just falling back into this range that you're actually in now, that's not correct either. So you have to bear that in mind. So even though we're thinking this could be an impulsive wave, it's always possible that we're actually still in a higher time frame WXY. Yeah, it's always possible. And then you always have to have that in mind. The only way that we're going to be 100% about, I think if we are able to kind of get past this volume area, get past the point, once you start seeing strength, you're not thinking bearish anymore. So at the moment, we're not seeing strength. We're just seeing we just changed market structure on the daily time frame to bullish. So that's strength. Yeah, we've come above this 382 and back tested it as support. So that's quite strong. It requires strength to do that. Yeah. So this is strength coming up and back testing that, flipping this level into support is strong. It requires strength. Yeah. And we're above the value area high of the overall range, and we've back tested it as support, almost a front run. That's good. That's what you want to see. That's strong. So you'll see we are seeing strength, but then we don't want to now go up and then get a rejection. So if for some reason we go up and somehow reject, then you've seen strength and now you're starting to see weakness. Yeah, and you're not expecting weakness when the next move is the strongest move, the third wave is the strongest, it's the strongest move. So it should be really strong. It should be extremely impulsive, and you shouldn't see a rejection so immediately after you see strength. And if you see that, then actually then I would be thinking, okay, maybe actually this is more bearish than I thought, and this whole thing is more of a corrective. That's the A. This was actually the B, and actually maybe then we're looking for a C coming down to the golden point. This perfectly makes sense too. I don't like it. The timings are off for me. Like coming down all the way down to June. It doesn't coincide with the Bitcoin bull market, so that's why I don't really talk about. I'm not talking about bearishness. I'm always thinking bullish, but it's always something you have to bear in mind. Yeah, like even though I don't talk about it, shit happens, you know. Crazy shit happens in the world, and you can't predict the future, and crypto is extremely unstable, and so it's always good to bear that in mind. But that being said, this is looking quite strong, so I wouldn't think like that until I started seeing weakness. And what you're seeing now is a change in market structure. It's bullish. This is a V-shaped recovery there. You see that? And the price has come back down to the 50% and found support, which is kind of resting at the point of control. That's correct. You don't expect it to take the low. That would be incorrect. You're expecting it to find support here, and then we're looking for another push up. And that push up has to take us into the next level, which is the 236, above the 236. It has to flip that level. Yeah, that's what you want to see next. That's what I'm expecting, right, for continuation. So I hope that helps. Did that help? It looks a bit messy here right now, but you have to contemplate future price action, bullish and bearish, and then you have to have a plan for both. And then for most people, the most straightforward technique or strategy is dollar cost averaging, because we're in the bull market. We're expecting a bullish Bitcoin wave 5 to carry us into higher prices, which will carry the whole of the altcoin market. We're expecting that, and that's our thesis. So you have to have a higher time frame accumulation strategy. But traders, I mean, look, a trader, I told you a trader would be looking for the best entry. They'd be looking for, like I said, they'd be looking for a completion here. That's kind of, this is where the reaction here back into the value area. Trader, that would be a good entry for a trader. A trader could take the entry here, but they'd have to have a wide stop. So they have to calculate their risk. That whole red zone there would be 1%. Yeah. So, and then it would only a trader's, if someone was taking a trade here, you'd have to risk your 1% or 0.5% from where we are now. So it's a really bad entry. So you'd have to, maybe you'd risk half of half. And then if it goes down, add another half of half. And then your reward has to be a sign of strength in the next wave, basically. You're not expecting this pivot to be taken. Like a trader could trade that, but they have to scale in as well and risk 1% max. And then obviously, as soon as the move goes in their favor, they'd be taking profit. So most traders would, if they took that, they would actually take profit in the first sign of resistance, which is here, 1.15 cents or so. They would. But the risk to reward is much better if you get a reaction into your area of interest. And here, it's kind of lower down, actually. It's where this high volume node is. Sorry, I went on a bit. All right.